Hi, thanks for joining me in this video. This video will be extremely short. I just want to talk quickly about processing times. Processing times are not in anybody's control. Processing times are in the control of the officer and the consulate that has received your application. I know that there are friends and family members of yours that receive the application much faster than XYZ. That's by chance. Just like any job, one employee will work a little bit harder and faster than the next employee. Officers are the same way. When a file lands on an officer's desk, one officer can take 1 month to make a decision, and another officer with the same exact application can take 6 months. Processing times roughly are stated on the IRCC website, but they're approximation. That doesn't mean that within that time frame you will get a decision. You just have to look at two things. One is, do you have confirmation that they've received the application? There's several ways of knowing this. One is if you've submitted online, you can check the online and you'll receive communication, such as biometrics request, medical request, UCI number, acknowledgement. If you have received that, rest assured that your application is in queue to have a decision. Another thing, and the last thing you want to keep in mind is, if the application is beyond the reasonable time, you have the ability to file an application called mandamus. Now, you don't jump to that just because the processing time said 8 weeks and yours is 9 weeks, and then you go to the federal court and you file a mandamus application. This application is reserved when you believe it's been unreasonable processing time. So, for example, if a study permit has taken 12 months when the processing time these days is 8 weeks, that you can argue it's unreasonable. Why? Because you constantly have to renew the acceptance letter. Your documentation, your entire financial situation changes within that 12 months. So it's unreasonable for you to hold your life because you want to study and not move anything because the officer has not made a decision. This is a temporary document and therefore 12 months is unreasonable. However, for a spousal sponsorship application, even though 8 to 12 months is the processing time, it can be argued that 2 years can be a reasonable processing time for a spousal. It depends on the complexity of your application. Perhaps you've received previous spousal application refusals. Perhaps you have documentation that is in question. So even 2 years for a spousal can be argued reasonable. If you have questions about processing times and if you should file a mandamus, please give us a call. Thank you, and until next time.